All right, let's see if I can do this while looking at the phone. Slip knot, chain 6, and 1, 2, 3, fourth chain from the hook. Nope. Double crochet into that. That's row 1. 3 double crochets and a chain 3. And now we want to increase. So chain 6. Five, 6, turn. Not yet. Increasing rows always start with a chain 6. You skip the first 3 stitches and then do a double crochet into 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, 1, 2, 3. First 2 or 3 rows of my corner to corners always look janky. So I've got row 1 and I've got the first cluster of row 2. Now I'm going to turn my project. What I want is that chain space. So I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space. Slip stitch. And now I'm going to chain 3 if I don't get tangled. One, 2, 3. And now I'm going to do 3 double crochets in this same chain space I just slip stitched into. So here's row 1, here's cluster 1 of row 2, and cluster 2 of row 2. Now I want to start row 3. Start a row, you chain 6. If you unwrap your yarn from your tripod, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, 3 double crochets into 4, 5, and 6. And there's cluster 1 of row 3. Again, I want to slip stitch into the chain 3 space from the previous row. I like to pull that tight. Chain 3. And then 3 double crochet into that same chain 3 space. I can't tell when it's in focus. I'm looking at my hands, not the phone, even though the phone's right in front of me, half blocking the yarn. Chain 3, 3 double crochets, and now I'm going to slip stitch into this chain space. I like to pull that tight. And now, if I wanted to go on, I would chain 3 and then put 3 double crochets into this chain space, and then chain 6 and increase the row. But let's say I want this to start my decreases. So what I'm going to do is, after I do that slip stitch, turn the work, and now these 3 stitches here, 1, 2, 3, the top of these 3 double crochets, I'm going to slip stitch through those. So I put the hook in the top of that first double crochet, slip stitch, put the hook in the top of the second double crochet, slip stitch, put the hook in the top of that third double crochet through both loops, slip stitch, and now here was the chain 3. Here's those 3 double crochets. I slip stitch to bring my yarn across here. Instead of adding a stitch into this chain space, instead of adding a cluster into this chain space, I moved my yarn. Now, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into this chain space. Now after slip stitching across those 3 double crochets, you could slip stitch into this chain space, which probably makes it look a little neater. Let's try that. So I just slip stitched across the tops of the 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to slip into this chain space. And see how you don't have that stitch hanging out anymore, it's just the open space. Now chain 3. Three double crochets into this chain space. And then slip stitch into this chain 3 space. So right now I've got a rectangle, 2 by 3. I want to add on here to make it longer. So I'll chain 3. Three double crochet in the chain space. And I'm still increasing on this row. So chain 6, or still increasing on this side rather. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over. 3 double crochets in chains 4, 5, and 6 from the hook. Slip stitch into the chain space. And I've added one to this side, making that longer. Now I need to get up to here. Chain 3. Three double crochet in the chain space. Slip stitch into this chain space to attach. Now I'm not increasing on this side, so I'm not going to do a chain 6 to add a new cluster. I'm going to turn, and now I'm going to slip stitch across the tops of these 3 double crochets that I just made, because this is my decrease side. Slip stitch. Slip stitch. Slip stitch. And now slip into this chain 3 space. Chain 3. Three double crochets. Slip stitch into the chain 3 space. And if I want to make it longer, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 6, and add on. If this is as long as I want, I can decrease on this side now too. Once you start, now this is a bad example because it's only 2 rows, but once you start decreasing on both sides, if you have more than 2 rows, that's when the triangle starts closing up, because you decrease on this side, you decrease on this side, and just do down. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to slip stitch through the tops of these 3 double crochets I just made very sloppily. And then I'm done. So that's how you decrease. You just slip stitch into the tops of the double crochets, and you decrease on one side every time, the same side, and increase on the other side, and the piece will grow this way, but it'll stay the same width because you're not increasing on this side. And then when you start decreasing on both sides, that's when the 2 sides come together and you get down to just one cluster at the very end. Hope that was helpful. It was probably clear as mud. Any questions, just tag me. No worries.